Welcome to Act on Insomnia, a channel that helps you let go of sleep struggles using proven non-medicinal methods and based on the principles of acceptance and of understanding your struggles. Today, we're going to look at why the causes of your insomnia are not really that important and how fixating on these causes can actually make the problem a lot worse. I'll start by sharing my own personal story. When I started struggling with sleep, I spent a lot of time trying to figure out why this was happening to me and what had started it. In fact, the only thing I spent more time thinking about was how to beat my insomnia and how to overcome it. But when I wasn't thinking about that, I tended to be thinking about why it had started and why this was happening to me. I was confused because there was no real trigger for it. My work was good. In fact, I remember thinking that actually my work situation at the time was probably better than it ever had been. My family life was okay. Everything, really, was pretty much okay. I mean, things weren't perfect, but nothing ever is. In my quest to find out what had caused this problem, I even at one point visited a hypnotherapist. And this guy seemed even more obsessed with the causes of events than I was. And he went deep into my own personal life and my childhood, using sort of regressive therapy techniques to try to find the cause. But needless to say, none of this worked. And after a couple of sessions with the hypnotherapist, I was sleeping even worse, or even less than I had before. It was only later, of course, that I realized that none of this really mattered. So why do the causes of your insomnia not really matter? Well, let's look at a common pattern. Usually, it starts with a trigger. There's a stressful event which causes you to have disturbed and interrupted sleep, or maybe no sleep at all. This could be anything from a financial worry to a relationship problem, all sorts of things. But what happens is, because of this, you sleep less, maybe for one night, and then it may be for more. And then you start to worry about this. You start to worry that, as well as this problem, you're also not getting enough sleep. And how is that going to affect you? And then, of course, the brain identifies sleeplessness, or in other words, wakefulness, as a threat. Now, as soon as the brain has identified a threat, it tries to escape that threat. But the attempts to escape the threat reinforce the idea that there is a threat and there is a danger. Your brain is primed and has evolved to protect you. So, of course, once the brain senses danger, it goes into what we call hyperarousal, or more commonly known as fight or flight. And this, then, is what really keeps you awake. After a while, your insomnia is disconnected from the original trigger, and now the primary problem is your insomnia. In other words, your lack of sleep is causing you to sleep less. The original stressful event might have resolved itself. It may have been that relationship problem which you've now figured out. It may have been a financial problem which you found a way to deal with. Or, of course, the problem may still be there. But that doesn't matter, because the point is, the cause is no longer relevant. At this stage, you're trapped in a cycle of hyperarousal, where the stress of not sleeping and your constant attempts to escape this threat are sending messages to your brain that there's a danger, that wakefulness is a danger, and that you need to get out of it. And trying to figure out the cause of your insomnia and why it started is a bit like you trying to solve a puzzle. You'll go through all the possible reasons, ticking them off, relating them to other things. No, that couldn't have been the reason, you think, because when this happened, That was also happening. And at that time I was sleeping well. No, that can't be the problem, because I was already sleeping badly then. And that only started a couple of weeks ago. And it goes on. And by trying to solve this puzzle, all you're really doing is reinforcing the message that there is a problem to solve. In other words, you're confirming the threat. And as you confirm this threat, the brain, which is a survival machine, tries harder to resolve it, and the cycle of hyperarousal continues. So, letting go of trying to solve this puzzle, letting go of trying to figure out the cause of your insomnia, is part of a wider process of letting go of struggle. And letting go of struggle really is the key component in overcoming insomnia. I'll be posting lots more videos about how we can let go of this struggle, how we can stop trying to control our sleep and stop struggling. And this is the path from which sleep will naturally emerge. But for now, it's good to remember that the cause of your insomnia really doesn't matter.